Arasani and Gangamala looking at each other and saying that, how is it? And it's like, hey, the weight feels lighter. Our breasts feel lighter now. It feels like something is holding it up. And these are words, dialogues that have been written by men. So all of that while performing, I think as an actor, I felt like this is truth. This is honesty. And now I can lean into it.
Tell us, how has the overwhelming response been for you?
We got a fantastic reviews and people who connected to what we want to trying to connect the content, and they'll excited about that all actors and works and like that.
इस film में especially आपके 5 looks हैं, correct?
Yeah.
So please tell us.
They're just, flashes of them. The 3 of them are there. This is one, I think, Cardian, that role. This guy, he's the great granddad or whatever. So his portion is a little more lengthy, but the others are just flashes you get here and there. He wanted to show that travel through time and the different generations of Thangalaan. And
Parvathy, what was your thought when you read it on paper for the first time?
I was more looking inward. I wasn't looking at the impact. I always do that. I don't read a screenplay and think, how are the audience going to respond to it? My communication or my relationship that I have with that scene or with my director, with my actors, is all that I care for at that point. Because anything more than that will just color the experience and it's unnecessary, I feel, out of our control. Hi everyone, this is Parvathy Tiruvotha.
hi everyone, this is Ranjith. Hi, I'm Chiyaan Vikram and you're watching us on Bollywood Hungama with Urmin.
Hello, Parvathy, Ranjith ji, and my God, what a wonderful time it is to be present. Chiyaan Vikram,
Urmin,
how are you doing?
Great, couldn't be happier.
Can you feel the excitement in my voice?
Yes.
It's so good to see
It's
such
very
wonderful.
palpable. Thank you.
It's so good to see such wonderful artists together. And congratulations, ये film already released हुई थी. Now on 30th August, everybody can watch it all over India. So सबसे पहले I'd like to ask you, sir, tell us, how has the overwhelming response been for you?
So after release, we got a fantastic reviews and people who connected to what we want to trying to connect the content, and they'll excited about that all actors and works and like that. Especially they mentioned music director work and the sound work, and they enjoyed a lot, and they'll say no, the movie, it is not like only about entertainment, it is like kind of experience. So we need to we experienced a lot, and like the cinematic experience they enjoyed, kind of words they used, and they particularly mentioned Vikram sir acting, and it is very fabulous. And
Thank you.
and the Parvathy, the blouse sequence, and the Parvathy, how did that
Every
whole
sequence.
movie, in every sequence, not only Parvathy and Malavika,
Yeah.
what she did in that Arati role, and Pasupati, and some rest of the actors, they all people who really connected very well, and like the character really connected very well, and they enjoyed, and especially Telugu audience, and like in some like overseas audience.
Yeah.
So they all they connected, and they after watch the movie, they wrote about a lot of historical things, and they came to church, and like what happened exactly that time, and Aranarati was Aranarati. They wanted to show the exact world. We used very few moments in that movie in Aranarati was Aranarati, but they wanted to see the whole world.
Yeah.
So yeah, people enjoyed after watching, and I'm sure, I hope.
Good job, Ranjit.
Yeah.
You can see he's still nervous. He's excited.
Ranjit sir, is it true that Parvathy's role was actually written keeping her in mind?
No, not in the mind, but after I
Keeping me humble.
so after I wrote, first face came to me and Parvathy. If she's going to do this character, it will be fine for me.
How did that feel for you? Playing Hungama, what did that mean to you?
I don't think I'll process it. I think for the rest of my life, I'll know what Gangamal is going to keep giving me. That she's like Mother Nature or something. She'll keep giving. she'll keep giving. And I've always felt this. Every character that I've done has somehow impacted and it's like a collection of friends. Like all those women support me in my life. So Gangamal has come in and she's like the leader of the pack now. But more importantly, I heard before I spoke to him for the first time on the phone, a lot of people told me, we've been trying to contact you for several months now. We didn't. I'm like, it's so easy to get my number and like contact. How the fact that it could have been a miss, it's like right now is a nightmarish thought for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that it's a perfect casting. Like I said in my intro, that it feels like a power-packed performance because of such great talent.
And also, Urmin, I have to say, I've been wanting to work with Chiyaan Vikram for all my life. But Chiyaan
It's
Vikram,
totally mutual.
What is the film that you saw and you said, "इसमें मुझे होना चाहिए था"?
Can I say Ravan?
Oh,
I mean, it's the Aishwarya Rai. I cannot like be a match to her. But just to be opposite of him and his eyes in those films, I know you've done so many amazing roles. But for me, there is something about the love in that has spoken to me, has stayed with me, and I feel it deeply personally. That's my kind of, depth. But every time I met him, I got to meet him at, like, let's say an award event or somewhere. We'd end up talking about art. No matter what party is going around, we'd start talking about the
We'll be
craft.
oblivious of everything.
We'd be oblivious of
We'll
everything.
have this little corner in the middle of everybody.
Yeah, and then we'll be like, but that character, how we get into this, and so I kept thinking how wonderful it would be, and then it couldn't have been a better project to, be his Gangamal and to find him as my Thangalaan.
actually, my first question to you, Vikram sir, is exactly the same thing. First of all, congratulations on 61 wonderful appearances in Indian cinema and always creating a whole different look. We cannot imagine what transformations and the journey that you would go through to create one look for every film. So please tell us, इस film में especially आपके 5 looks हैं, correct?
Yeah.
So please tell us that, take us through the journey of what went in creating them all.
This movie, it's not about the looks. Actually, I think the 5 would be, they're just, flashes of them. The 3 of them are there. This is one, I think, Cardian, that role. This guy, he's the great granddad or whatever. So his portion is a little more lengthy, but the others are just flashes you get here and there. He wanted to show that travel through time and the different generations of Thangalaan, and so he had to look like me, but how different can we make him look? So that was a really good thing. And Ranjith was always there to, inspire me and give me guidelines on what that person could look like, what's his background, and then we used to sit and work on it. That was really interesting. But these 2 characters I really loved. And Kardin, in fact, I think Thangalaan is the protagonist, but Kardin has a very interesting, like, most people have like actually taken to him, I think, more than Thangalaan. They really like him because he comes for a short span, but he exudes so much power, and that he's not scared of anything in the face of adversity. The whole Chola army is against him, and he'll just be very stoic, and he's just sitting there on his horse, and he's just challenging them very silently. He'll respect the king, but he'll say, "Yeah, I'm me." He's a very, very, very interesting character to perform an essay. So I really liked him. And Thangalaan, of course, from the very beginning, the moment Ranjit told me, I got damn kicked. I mean, the very fact that it's a period film, and then to realize that we were actually going back to our forefathers, and I was going to look like this and in my truest, rawest form. And it was, I think, you as an actor, you imbibe a lot in life, but you take a lot from inside you, and there's some part of you which comes in every character. But this fellow, I thought, like, he was the deepest. I had to go really deep and search and get really primal about it. And because I've studied in a boarding, and for me it's all about, like, you sit properly, you eat properly with a spoon and fork or chopsticks and stuff. And here I had to just give away the trappings of not just luxury, of civilization, of everything, and just become this guy from another era. And he's not just another guy. He has a purpose in life. He's leading his people, and he's trying to get them out of oppression. He's looking for liberation. Gold is just a metaphor there. I think so it was very important to me when I started thinking about him. Like, he's not just a character, I had to be him. And so I had to search for the Thangalaan in me. Like, I think all of us have, you will be having a Gangama and you and Thangalaan, because all of us have gone through this, that era whenever it happened, all of us were persecuted, all of us were tortured, all of us had to give up so much, all of us had to fight for just the basic right, or just to breathe, it was like that. So being that guy meant a lot to me, and I am so glad Ranjith was there every step of the way to make sure that I took the right step in the right direction. I mean, I always insist on saying that I couldn't have done it without him. He's a wonderful filmmaker to work with. I've always wanted to be with in his films, and every character of his, I've always perceived myself in that role. And of course, Gangama, like I think for me, it was from Marianne. I've seen Marianne, and I've seen, wow, what a performer, and so important for me that I work with her. But I'm so glad, like she says, that it was this project finally and not any other. And like everybody's talking about like the performance, they say that one chunk of it is it's her and me, and it's about the family, and we actually have 5 children.
Yeah.
Our eldest son is capable of having children of his own. The youngest is only about 3 or something. So in spite of that, we are so much in love, and it's a very passionate, very deep kind of love, and it's very violent. In those times, Ranjit, like he always explained to us, that the women will have calloused hands just like men, because they are fighting, they are working, and they're also looking after the children and the family and the cooking. So she was actually on par with me. She's like a man in the film. And so between us, the love was it was raw, but it was very, like at times it'll be violent, at times it'll be tender, but everything it was very deep. And like that blouse scene which you're talking about, they're all such beautiful scenes, and I felt like she was always there to have my back, and it was so nice. I mean, we kind of borrowed from each other's energies, and I think it was lovely. Like I'm thinking about it now. There are other good actors, but I don't think I could have pulled it off with anybody else but her.
Can you take us through the blouse scene that has been so discussed about? In fact, Parvathy, what was your thought when you read it on paper for the first time? How impactful was reading it and then shooting it?
So I am beyond thrilled that also the fact that the scenes now been also released, post-release for people to watch, and the discourse.
That came pre-release actually.
Who was that?
Yeah, the blouse scene came before the
Really?
release.
I didn't know that.
It came with the song, no?
Oh yeah, a little bit of the song that came, but when the entirety of the song, like from the time when you're distributing the sweets, so the discourse is so enlightening too, because when I read the scene, most of the scenes that I read, I was more looking inward. I wasn't looking at the impact. I always do that. I don't read a screenplay and think, how are the audience going to respond to it. My communication or my relationship that I have with that scene or with my director, with my actors, is all that I care for at that point, because anything more than that will just color the experience, and it's unnecessary, I feel, and it's also out of our control what the perception is going to be.
True.
First of all, I want to acknowledge that in 2023, when we shot this, I mean, I'm pretty much body positive and all of that myself, but when I had to play Gangamal just wearing the sari and not really wearing an upper garment or an inner garment, proper inner garment, with the kind of support that women are used to in our modern age, it was a whole nother journey. I mean, on days that probably you wouldn't have known, there were moments when most of us women on set are so uncomfortable because we don't know what it is like to not have that support in our chest, to be doing chores the way they do and everything. And also something that Ranjith said, and I'm going to be very brash about it, is because this is a woman who's had 5 kids. She's not going to have perky breasts. Let's just, agree on that. And those kind of letting go and really embodying the character was a challenge, but also was such learning, such an education, such a liberation for me as a person.
It must have helped you also build your character, right?
Like in my own, as Parvathy, yes. Like I learned a lot. As Parvathy, I think my character was built a lot through this as well, because it puts you through the test. It's the most merciless test that you can be. In the geographic location, everything takes a toll. So when I think by that time we were shooting the song Miniki around that same time, I believe. I can't quite remember.
Miniki came later.
Miniki much later, but I remember the whole scene of him saying the joy of it. There is a childlike joy of it. And he kept repeating that. And there was no way that we could have planned the joy. We had to really internalize what it felt to be validated for our choice. Like we wanted it and we are getting it. That's new. Especially when we are being oppressed. We want it and we get it. It should be as simple as that for any human being, but it's not. For the oppressed, They want it and they're not given it. They're not allowed, they're said, right? So that joy is something. And apart from that, the bodily part, the dialogues are beautiful, I thought. Where Arasani and Gangamala looking at each other and saying that, how is it? And it's like, hey, the weight feels lighter. Our breasts feel lighter now. It feels like something is holding it up. And these are words, dialogues that have been written by men. And for me, that means a lot. Because you're taking into account what the female gaze is, female experience is. So all of that while performing, I think as an actor, I felt like this is truth. This is honesty. And now I can lean into it. So I don't remember the day. All the days are quite blurred for me during the shoot right now. Now we have like a good 1 year distance from the shoot. But I remember feeling the joy of it. And always looking at Thangalaan on set when the camera is rolling and I have to just look at him and he's being Thangalaan. And there's a beautiful dialogue, if you notice in that, where I ask him, hey, how is it? And he's like, remove it, man. Like, how will my kid drink his milk if you wear this? And everybody's making fun of him. It's like, oh, that's your worry. A kid's not going to have milk, is it? And then he even goes a step further, which shows the culture of that village too. It's like, I'm her first kid, which is almost sexual in his thing, but it's not like a dirty thing. And I feel like that is such a collective experience suddenly. It's not just about a woman finding her freedom and liberation anymore.
I'm really impressed with the kind of layers that I'm seeing in, the film. It's not just an era that you're showcasing, sir, but I think small elements that have been impactful are all part of it. While you were creating this era, how patient did you have to be on sets?
No, we were the ones who had to be patient.
Very patient.
He's very, very. I think that we should say that. I think the thing is, I think we had like those people. We had about 200 of them. They're all stagecraft people. They all come from a drama background, so all of them are actors. But there will be someone who would take time. I think he's one of the coolest directors. He just go on, try.
Ranjith, I'm not trying to hijack the answer. Let me also just say something. I heard from a friend who watched the film and called me and said, in Tamil, she said, so it's beautiful when she would say it, she's like, how can a person be so in love with his people? In every frame, in every shot, his passion for his people is so evident. And when I heard her say that, now I can recollect on set, whatever frustration you were feeling, whatever you were trying to figure out, this is a new genre, it's never been done before in Indian cinema, forget it's like cinema, world cinema. The weight and the pressure that he was feeling to do right by his people is so evident, is what I was told. And I guess
I'm getting emotional. Thanks for the compliment. To my auto, what I wanted to convey from my side, I just expecting love. I don't want to give love. That's it. Love, it means everything. Like, it's a care, it's a equality. Like, we can mean it in everything, every word and every the emotions. So I'm trying to give, and I'm trying to get from outside. Any form of
take it.
Yeah. So that words makes me emotional. Yeah.
So you do realize that you deserve all the love, you deserve all the appreciation. So please make sure you don't have any sugar today because there's a lot of sweetness in it. But thank you so much. I believe we're short of time. So before I wrap up, one final question that I'd like to ask you all, since this is a period drama, if you all could go back in time and tell us one project of yours that is the most satisfying of your life, what would it be?
For me, it's easily Thangalaan. Not because it's the film that's out now, but I think it's here that I've really given myself up for a character and without holding anything back, and the kind of response we've been getting for the character and for the film has been phenomenal, and it's irrespective of what reviews are out or what's happening in the theaters, which is all good, but people just come up and say, oh my god, this is an experience like we can't forget, and what a world and what a character, and how did you do this and how did you do it? Which I've never had this for any other character. I've had, like, they'll be commercially viable, so it'll be a different thing. The movie is damn good and blah blah, it's doing well. Here it's doing well, but the fact that it's doing well because we've done such interesting role plays in this, and working this team with only actors, like everybody was a performer, and it was like, it was really good because you could always know that everybody's there, you know, doing their best and keeping up with them.
Ranjit sir, do you have an answer? Your most satisfying project in the past.
Thangalaan சொல்லலாம். Thangalaan
தங்கலா கூட சொல்லலாம்.
Thangalaan
அது கூட
சொல்லலாம்.
பாஸ் தான் இப்போ.
Most satisfying, I didn't do anything.
He's not satisfied.
Actually, an artist can never be satisfied, which I understand. I totally get it.
No, she's saying that is okay. Till now, what are you most? She's saying, are you satisfied? She's not asking. Which is the most? Is it 1%, 2%?
My all projects.
All
Lovely,
Oh, nice.
lovely.
Even better.
Parvathy?
I would say Thangalaan currently, because, especially because it's running in theaters
Yeah.
right now. Mainly because it's not often that we get to be a part of such a project. It's
Thank
been
you
the most
so much.
satisfying.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You kind people. I really look forward to 30th of August when this film hits the theatre and hits our heart, most importantly. Thank you guys for watching us on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you, Urmin.
Hi everyone, this is Parvathy Tiruvottar.
Hi everyone, this is Ranjith. Hi, I'm Chiyaan Vikram and you're watching us on Bollywood Hungama with Urmin.